So now that Dzeko is a new Inter Milan player, Roma is forced, and I mean forced, to buy a new striker because Borja Mayoral and Shomurodov can't be put on so much pressure to be the main striker. So Roma needs to buy an experienced striker which will bag a lot of goals, more than Dzeko in these last years, and then we'll talk about him in a couple of years. Ladies and gentlemen, there are three options for Roma to replace Dzeko. We have got Tammy Abraham, Alexander Isak and Alexandre Lacazette. So before we get into this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We are 80 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. It's a dream of mine. If you're new here and want an opportunity to follow AS Roma as an English language, all you need to do is subscribe to this channel. Also, please like this video. It supports me so much. And without further ado, let's get onto the Dzeko replacement video. As I said before, there are three strikers Roma is interested in. Tammy Abraham, Alexander Isak and Alexandre Lacazette. And these three players will benefit Roma in three different ways. Now, Tammy Abraham is the youngest. Alexander Isak, in my opinion, is one of those players out of the three which will bag goals and assists quite a fair amount of times. And Alexandre Lacazette, in my opinion, will be the guy who will bag more goals. Now, Dzeko was important, not for the goals, I'd say. Dzeko was important at Roma because he made the entire team enter the box. Because he stopped the ball with his chest and the entire team ran in front of him. Then he turned around and the balls went to the other players. That was the key value of Edin Dzeko. Now, talking about Tammy Abraham, obviously, now that Chelsea bought Romelu Lukaku, will not find a lot of space at Chelsea. Up to now, he is the closest at Roma. You know, out of the three, he is the one which Roma is the most closest to sign. However, we have to say that he is not interested in signing for Roma because he wants to remain in London, and Arsenal and Tottenham both want him. So, you know, if he needs to come to Roma and not want to play for Roma and he's gonna play but he's not bothered to play, just Tammy Abraham, don't come to Roma because we want determined players. Plus, Tammy Abraham, out of the three, is the guy who scored less goals in their leagues, in their representative leagues last season. He scored 6 goals and he got subbed in many times the last season for Timo Werner because Timo Werner didn't find many goals, and Thomas Tuchel and Frank Lampard both subbed Tammy Abraham in, but he just couldn't find the goals. In fact, he scored just 6 goals in the course of the latest Premier League. Now, Alexander Isak, in my opinion, as I said before, is one of those players which will bag a fair amount of assists as well as goals. We've seen him at the Euros. This guy is a small jewel. He is very young. He plays for the Swedish national team, plays for Real Sociedad, and last season, Real Sociedad was almost about to get a Champions League spot. And that means that Alexander Isak had many contributions to the team, many goals. He scored 17 goals just in La Liga, and Real Sociedad was playing in the Europa League as well. Alexander Isak is one of those strikers which would not disappoint me at all. Much more than Tammy Abraham, in my opinion, because he is determined. I think going from Real Sociedad to Roma with a manager like Mourinho would be a jump in his career. So I would accept Roma if I were him. And he is the one which, as well as scoring, will make other players score. And if other players score, it means that the bonds will be built. And, you know, if Alexander Isak bonds well with Zaniolo, Pellegrini, El Shaarawy, these 4 players can score a hell of an amount of goals this season. And obviously, now that Roma sold Dzeko, you need to find an improvement. So buying Tammy Abraham, who scored 6 goals, and Dzeko, who is way older and obviously will get way more injuries, scored 4 more goals than him, means a lot. You know, is Tammy Abraham actually the level Dzeko was at Roma? Because Roma needs to find a way of improvement. Alexander Isak, in my opinion, would be a very good improvement, and I would point my eyes on him up to now. However, Alexandre Lacazette is the third name, and after Tammy Abraham, he is the second most closest players. You know, the rankings up to now say Tammy Abraham first, Lacazette second, and Alexander Isak because of the prices, but we'll get to that in a bit. Alexandre Lacazette is someone who scored 13 goals in the latest Premier League, and he is someone who Mikel Arteta never always chose him as first striker. You know, when Aubameyang was playing, Lacazette barely played. Lacazette and Aubameyang barely played together last season, and Lacazette scored more goals than Aubameyang last season. So that, in my opinion, would mean a lot. Lacazette is someone who turns around, scores, boom, boom, boom. Roma needs someone who will bag the goals, okay? Because only by bagging goals, I feel like Roma will improve and maybe get in a Champions League spot, maybe win trophies, because the defense will concede many goals. I'm telling you this, the 11th of August. The defense will concede many goals, and we've seen it in these friendly matches. So Roma now need to focus on the attackers, because the defense has been like this for the past 10 years. There just is no way of improvement. Now, buy someone who bagged the goals, and it will balance things out. When it comes to prices, obviously, Alexander Lacazette will cost around 25 million euros, which is not much in my opinion. Tammy Abraham costs around 40 million euros. I would never pay 40 million euros for someone who scored 6 goals last season and is not determined to play for Roma, doesn't want to play for Roma. So why spend that amount of money when for someone that is really not bothered to be in a club like Roma? And then Alexander Isak will cost around 35 to 40 million euros. However, I would definitely spend my 40 million euros of budget on Alexander Isak rather than Tammy Abraham. But if Lacazette costs almost 20 million less, just buy Lacazette, because he is someone who will bag the goals. He is someone who has a lot of experience. He knows Mourinho very well because he was Mourinho's rival, you know. He played for Arsenal. Tottenham had Mourinho as a manager. They are rivals. So Mourinho experimented with many Tottenham players to try and cover and not make Lacazette score. So he knows how Lacazette plays. And in my opinion, the fact that the Serie A now starts in less than 14 days and Roma need a striker now. I mean now. Getting someone which Mourinho knows and getting someone which Mourinho can make very easily bond with other teammates is an advantage, because it means that from the very start he will start bagging goals. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 3 options to replace Dzeko: Alexander Isak, Alexander Lacazette, and Tammy Abraham. Let me know in the comments below who you guys prefer, because, you know, I said my preferences. I'd rather have Isak and Lacazette rather than Tammy Abraham, but let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious to read and respond to all of your comments. As I always say, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Road to 1,000 subscribers. Get it done before my school starts. It's a dream of mine, and I'll catch you in a bit and more travel vlogs. Simon out.